Hebrews 2 5-18. The Son made like his brethren. The writer of Hebrews turns our attention away from angels and towards something far greater humanity as God intended it, and the one who has brought that intention to its fulfillment. The world to come, he says, was not subjected to angels, but to man. This is not a future speculation suspended in distant time, but a reality anchored in what God has already spoken and accomplished. He recalls the words of Psalms, "What is man that you are mindful of him?" Humanity was crowned with glory and honor set over the works of God's hands. Yet there is an honest admission. We do not yet see all things subjected to him. There is a tension between what was spoken and what is seen. But that tension is resolved not by looking at man in his weakness, but by beholding one man in his exaltation. We see Jesus. He was made for a little while lower than the angels, entering fully into the human condition, not in appearance only, but in reality. He partook of flesh and blood, stepping into the very realm where weakness, suffering, and death had reigned. Yet his humiliation was not the end of the matter. Through suffering, he was crowned with glory and honor. What was spoken of man in Psalm finds its true expression in him. The passage declares that he tasted death for everyone. This is not partial, nor selective, but complete. Death, which once stood as the great divider, has been entered, exhausted, and overcome. The one who stood outside of it chose to step into it, not as a victim, but as the appointed means of bringing many sons to glory. It was fitting, entirely consistent with the character and purpose of God, that the one who is the source of all things would bring his people to glory through a perfected captain. The word perfected does not imply moral deficiency, but completion. He fully accomplished all that was necessary through suffering. Nothing was left undone. There is a profound unity expressed here. He who sanctifies and those who are sanctified are all from one. The distinction between him and them is not erased, yet there is a shared origin, a shared identity. Because of this, he is not ashamed to call them brethren. This is then reinforced with words from Isaiah. I will declare your name to my brethren, and now I will put my trust in him. Here am I and the children whom God has given me. The Son stands in the midst of his people, not distant, not detached, but identified with them. Since the children share in flesh and blood, he himself likewise shared in the same. This was not incidental, it was necessary. Through death, he rendered powerless the one who had the power of death, that is, the adversary. The dominion that once held humanity in fear has been broken, not by avoidance of death, but by passing through it. Those who were subject to bondage through the fear of death have been delivered. The fear that once governed the human condition has been answered decisively. Death no longer holds its former authority. The writer is careful to note that his help is not directed toward angels, but toward the seed of Abraham. His mission is covenantal, rooted in promise, and directed toward a people long spoken of. Therefore, he had to be made like his brethren in all things, not partially, not symbolically, but fully. This likeness qualified him to be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God. His priesthood is not distant or abstract. It is grounded in shared experience. He makes propitiation for the sins of the people. The language here speaks of a complete dealing with sin, not a temporary covering, but a decisive resolution. The barrier has been addressed fully. And because he himself has suffered, being tempted, he is able to aid those who are tempted. His help is not theoretical. It arises from what he has already entered into and overcome. In this passage, the movement is clear. From promise to fulfillment, from humanity's intended glory to its realization in the Son, from suffering to glory, from bondage to freedom. What was spoken has been brought to completion, not in abstraction, but in the person and work of Jesus, the one who stands as both representative and accomplisher, the one in whom all things have been brought under their rightful order.